Now I know what I said. This is an exception. So we are actually going to be trying something a little different here. Instead of generalized reactions, which is what I've been doing, I'm going to try something reviewing, actually giving critiques. So I decided to give this a little test run from a request I got asking if I could review another cover, which I need to say something. The creator who asked this of me specifically said the fixed one. What? It would be more helpful if I had the link or you gave me the full title. It'd be easier to look up. So if this is not correct, you should have given me the title or linked it. I'm sorry in advance if this isn't the right one. Before I begin, I just want to say, why me? I mean, I know why, or at least I have an idea as to why. Sometimes being at the bottom of the barrel in your field has some benefits, I suppose. I don't know, I find that people, both who I know in person and those who are like dedicated fans, they tend to have a higher opinion of me. Why? I'm not that great. I'm not a professional in anything. Why are you asking me? Okay, let me put it this way. I do music in the same sense that I can do surgery. I can go into a hospital, open some person up, start performing a heart transplant. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing things at that point. I don't know music. I love music. I don't know music. So what that means is my opinion isn't going to mean anything. It's just that there's no professionalism in my words. It is just personal opinion. And that's it. With that being said, I'm gonna review this. Lydia Lyrics, Defeat. Okay, a few things. You tried running, but I'm not like the other ones you faced before. You'll soon meet your end. It's slightly too generic for my liking. How I like to craft my lyrics when I go into specifically writing about one character. I like to make the beginning something that's impactful, or something that can start off as an attention grabber for the personality of the character that I'm writing about. Take, for example, my Judgment of the Malleus Pamela cover. Lost and found under the rain, pouring down, my sins remain. So with Magolor, I took it with the idea of his fragmented goals, with his original idea wanting to, control everything, become the overlord. And now with his defeat and fractured beliefs, ideas, and regrets, it's Magolor's unfortunate demise. Here, I would prefer something that's more hard-hitting at the beginning, and then maybe turn into something a little bit more even generic down the line. But not as a starting out point. I don't know, it feels like you lose a lot of attention that way. The rest of the lyrics were fine to me. That's another thing. So the audio effect here for the imposter vocals, it's a little too much in my opinion. I know it can be fun when you're personifying a character and you actually get it down to a T, both in personality and in the vocals when they have a specific vocal effect and you can match it beat for beat. But keep in mind, you're making a song. You have vocalists, you have people who are singing, so you have to keep in mind how that's going to sound coming out the other end of it. Something a little bit more subtle would work better. I'm also noticing something, which is you're trying to match things beat for beat, the lyrics beat for beat. It's... How do I put it into words? It's... That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you're trying to match it beat for beat. So when you're writing, or at least how I like to write my lyrics, I don't write them to the constraint of the beat. I just start writing. With my Magalore song, the beginning was raining judgment upon my sins, but it didn't fit. But that's the first thing I wrote, and I just reconstituted it into Lost and Found Under the Rain. Just as a cover in general, just start writing the lyrics of what you feel, what you hear, trying to follow the flow itself. It comes to constraining how you go about crafting your lyrics, so it's best if you just write the lyrics as you're listening to it, and when you give it a re-listen, look at your lyrics again if you like what you wrote. Fine-tune it a little, make it fit a little bit cleaner. And this fast-paced bit here, that was what I was worried about with the vocals, like I was saying. Because your vocals are too compressed with all those audio effects, it sounds a little muted. And it sounds like your vocalist is rushing. It'll deteriorate from the flow, which you can hear here. I think for that, if you wanted to keep the lyrics, just slow down that flow just a little bit. Have your vocalist slow down, not go as fast paced. I think that would make it sound more smooth. Same with Boyfriend. See, that started out nice. Flow, flow. Yeah, start falling off there. And Boyfriend was kind of meandering there, but... And as far as the lyrics going off of from what I said about starting off, the lyrics so far, I mean, they seem good to me. Again, I'm not a professional, but what I'm seeing, it looks fine. Whoa. That sounds nice. The overlaying vocals, that sounds nice. The lyrics look good. So the vocals here is fine. The lyrics sound good to me. The only problem is this visual here. It hurts my eyeballs. It makes me want to close my eyes. It's a little too much. That was just a visual gripe. Whoa. See, that would bump up the gain on that a little bit. Let's hear. This is a cover. Yes, you gotta hear the singer. You gotta hear the vocalist. It's a little. It sounds a little muffled. Nice. Oh yeah, you could hear it there. So flow, nice. Lost it there at the end. Again, you're trying to match it beat for beat. It started out nice, but you fell off trying to match the intensity of the beat. But, yeah. Nice. So for that, it feels like you needed to try a different shift with that. So here, when they were singing in unison together, here in this bit, that sounded good, but here, I think because Boyfriend sounds a bit quieter here, what you needed to do instead of just overlaying the vocals, have it being set on on both sides. So you're hearing boyfriend in this ear or imposter in this ear. That way the vocals can come across more clearer. You can actually hear them a bit. Because here with boyfriend being so quiet, it's hard to hear him. Oh, is that the end? I think it is. Again, this may not seem like how I usually am in reactions, where I'm a bit more smiley, I'm a bit more expressive in my reactions. That's mainly because, again, I'm in reaction mode. I'm in review critique mode, so if I'm not as expressive then as I am now, don't take that to heart. It's just my shift in gears. So don't try to be perfect when you're making your covers. Again, it is fun and it feels good when you have the personification of a character down. You can have the vocal effects, you can match it to the song, you can match it to whatever the character actually sounds like in game. It's a great feeling, but again, you have to think, how is it going to sound coming out the other end? Because this is singing, not talking. There's a whole spectrum you're working with here that's very different. And if you have heavy effects, like what you have here with Imposter, now that's not to say you should just underplay everything and you should not try to do something like this. I think just tone it down just slightly with this vocal effect and it would be fine. You just added a little too much to it. And as far as the general mixing goes, the music was clear, the integration and transition between character to character was nice. Yeah, I think just as going over things generally, that's pretty much it, all I have to say. Some final words regarding any of you out there who are thinking or want to create lyrics. Again, I'm by no means a professional. I would highly suggest you look at someone else's opinion other than my own, because I am not a music person in the slightest. I love music, I do music, I have no idea what I'm doing. Don't write to perfection. I know I said this, but it's important to state. I mean, if you want to, you can go ahead and try. I'm not stopping you. But I think it will allow for more creativity, a lot more leniency when you're crafting your lyrics. If you're not being 100% heavily focused on the flow of the song, when to hit this vocal beat or when to raise my octaves at this point. It also helps if you actually know the franchise you're lyricizing as you go into it. So don't start off with the most famous video game that you have no knowledge on. Go off of, number one, a game you enjoy, number two, a song in the game you enjoy, and you'll be able to write your lyrics pretty easily. Again, links in the description to watch the original content. And this has been the very first review content that I have ever done. Actually, I think I might have done this in the past.